Hey everybody, doing another Arsploitation review today. Today I'm actually reviewing a movie called Romanticker. You guys check it out. Hey everybody, I appreciate you guys tuning in again. This is Kyle over here at the Horror File. I'm coming back today. I'm actually doing another and I know I've been doing a lot of these lately, another Arsploitation films review. I just love this company. This company just like releases the best movies, and I have to watch them, have to support them. I want to throw out some reviews on just about every movie. I'm going to try to review every movie on the Arsploitation line eventually, but I have to throw reviews out of these movies because like I really enjoy them. Today I'm actually reviewing a Japanese film. It's a Japanese gangster / Yakuza film. It goes by the name of Romanticker. This movie was made in 2011. It's a Japanese Yakuza gangster kind of movie. If you guys are familiar, and Takashi Miike did not direct this movie, but if you guys are familiar with a lot of Takashi Miike's work, he does a lot of Yakuza movies, a lot of gangster movies. This falls right in the line. Honestly, to be completely honest with you guys, I'm 100% not surprised, or I'm 100% surprised that this was not directed by Miike or even written by Miike. This is a Miike film all the way. Even the directing of this movie is pretty intense, and you know with these Japanese Yakuza movies, sometimes it's hard to follow the plot, and I know I've heard that from a lot of people that have watched these kind of movies. And this movie kind of falls in that line. This one is actually not horribly hard to follow, but it took a little bit to kind of understand what was going on. But I'll kind of get into this here in just a minute. I want to go ahead and get a sip of my beer in my Dawn of the Dead koozie. Because I need a little sip of beer before I kind of review this whole thing, because this is kind of a confusing one. So I'm going to kind of go at a slower pace to try to let you guys keep up. But this movie, it is based on the director Gusu Yeon's semi-autobiographical novel called Romanticker. So he wrote a semi-autobiographical novel, and it was named the same as the movie here, and it's based off of that book that he wrote. It stars Shota Matsuda, and I'm probably going to butcher a lot of these names, but Shota Matsuda, he actually plays Goo in the movie, which is the main character. I don't know if you guys can see this on the back. This is Goo right here. It's kind of a weird picture. I'll actually show you this. This is actually a really good picture of him on the inside cover. He's the blonde guy. He's the main character. He pretty much does everything in the movie. You follow him throughout the movie. He's a great actor. I mean, for a Japanese guy, Japanese actor, I actually enjoyed his acting, and I don't really know what else he's been in. I don't think he's been in any Miike movies. He may have, but I haven't seen a lot of Miike's Yakuza movies, but great actor. So pretty much to get into the plot of this one, and like I said, I'm going to try to go at a slow pace so you guys can kind of understand what's going on with this. The movie follows Goo. Goo is a hard-nosed Japanese hoodlum living in Shamaniki, Japan. I probably butchered that as well, but he lives in Shamaniki, Japan. He's just kind of like to kind of explain his character, he just doesn't really care. Like, he just like he really does not give a fuck. Like, this guy goes around, he punches people, he will, like, if you talk shit to this dude, he's gonna hit you. Like, he just does not care. But pretty much it follows him. And one of his friends accidentally kills the grandma of a ruthless North Korean Japanese thug. So when the movie opens up, there's a scene where these two Japanese guys are in this house. It's like a home invasion, and all the lights are off, and they're like, "What?" They're like, "What the fuck? What's going on?" And they're trying to like steal shit, and somebody comes out of the shadows and like grabs one of the guys. This is within the first 10 minutes of the movie. Grabs one of the guys, and neither of these guys is Goo, but grabs one of them, and the guy's like, "Who the fuck is this? Get the fuck off me!" Blah 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 blah. And they have a bat. He has like a steel pipe or a bat, and he starts beating the person, just beating him, like constantly beating him. He's like, "I'll kill you! I'll kill you!" They finally get the lights on, and it's like an old woman. It's like a grandma. It looks like a grandma. Come to find out, like, they actually burned down this woman's house to kind of try to hide the evidence. Cops catch up with the one guy. There's two of them. The guy that actually, I think his name was Tatsuyo or something. He's friends with Goo. The cops actually catch up to him almost immediately, like right after he burns down the house, and they catch him, and he gets put in jail for murder. So he ends up killing this grandma. The grandma ends up being a North Korean, Japanese, kind of like high up, person's grandma. And this pretty much movie turns into a revenge flick at this point. Gu is friends with this person. They all know that Gu is friends with this person that killed this, this grandma, this high up person. So what ends up happening is Gu starts, like, it kind of follows him around. It follows Gu around pretty much. All he does pretty much in this movie is like piss people off. Like, I don't really know why it follows Gu or what Gu really. He doesn't really have much to do with like the killing of this grandma, but like it follows Gu around and like he's like beating people. Like he goes, there's this one scene. Let's just say, in most Yakuza movies, all it does is really in the most of the movie is follow these people around. He goes into this one house where these three people are there and they're talking to him, and the one guy, his name is actually Takashi. Is his friend. The other two guys are playing poker with him, and they kind of start talking shit to Gu. Gu just like picks up a fucking biker helmet and just starts beating the fuck out of this, like both of those dudes, just like with the helmet, like beats them, like breaks one of their noses. The other guy's like fucking bleeding out the face. Like, just starts beating the shit out of these two dudes for no reason, just for like them saying one thing to this guy. So he really does not care. But pretty much throughout the whole movie, he's just doing this. He's pissing people off. Like, he'll go up to people. If people say anything to this dude, he'll just like piss them off. And it always happens to be like Korean, Japanese thugs, like that he's pissing off. Like these like thugs, because like he's kind of in that underground world, and a lot of the people he associates with are these Korean, Japanese thugs, and he just pisses them off. Like if they piss him off, he's gonna like beat them up or something. And they all want him dead at this point. Like he pisses off enough people, and then they start chasing this dude, and they all want him dead. So pretty much the whole movie is them trying to find Gu, like all these thugs trying to find Gu to kill him, while in the process he's actually beating up people. And these people also know that his friend killed this crime lord's grandma, and they're trying to kill him for that as well. So it's kind of like a revenge flick in a way. Meanwhile, as this is all going on with Gu, there's a detective. His name is Fujita. He is like lingering in the background, kind of trying to figure out what Gu's doing. Trying to follow him and his associates and his friends. Trying to put two and two together. He's trying to like solve this murder of this grandma, but he knows Gu has is friends with him, and he knows that he's sort of got something to do with all these crime things. So during all this, while this is all going on, it's kind of off topic, kind of weird. Gu ends up getting a job at a hostess club as a manager. And the guy that runs the club, his name is Takagi. He's very, very rich. He even tells Gu, he's like, here, you can just have my car, basically. You can just use my car whenever you want. I'm buying a new car. I'm buying a private jet. And Gu kind of thinks that this guy, he was actually offered this job because he needed a job. And he needed to kind of start doing something with himself because he's not making money. He needed money. And he kind of thinks that the guy that runs his club has something else going on, like he may sell drugs or he may be involved with another gang. He actually is. He's actually, I don't know if he was really selling drugs. I never really actually said whether or not he was selling drugs, but he is involved with a rival gang. But he still likes Gu, and he wants Gu to work for him and stuff like that. So, kind of a funny scene I wanted to say in this review. When Gu first meets Takagi at this club to kind of do an interview, like it's not really an interview, it's just like a sit down kind of gathering. There's these two women sitting next to him, and Gu's like, I don't have a place to stay. Is there any way you can give me a place to stay? And he's like, yeah, you can go stay with this chick right here. I can't remember her name, some Japanese name chick. You can go stay with her. She's really gorgeous. She's like, you go stay with this chick right here. And she's like, no, I don't want you. I don't want him to stay with me. I don't know who he is. And Takagi is like, oh, Gu wouldn't try anything sketchy. He's a good guy. He wouldn't try anything sketchy. And she's like, whatever, you can come stay. And then Gu, I thought it was funny, Gu looked over at Takagi and he's like, yeah, I'm kind of, I am like that. Like, I will try something with her. And he's like, well, whatever. Well, I just thought it was funny. It's kind of a comedic element to the movie at that point. But before I keep rambling on, this video is already at 9 minutes. Check out Romanticker. I still enjoyed it. I'm a big Japanese, Korean movie fan. I really enjoy these type of movies, the Yakuza movies. I think they're really fun, and really, to me, they're interesting because I got to figure out kind of what's going on most of the time, because their dialogue over there and the way that the Japanese people think is a little bit different than we do, and the way that the stylized type of movies that they do. I really liked it. I really found it to be really cool, and I really liked the character Gu. I thought he was a really cool character. Really cool to watch and see what he did. I would give this movie 6.5 out of 10. I did enjoy this movie. I'm not going to revisit this movie anytime soon. These movies are like 1 in a million with the Japanese movies. I'd rather watch a Takashi Miike movie if it has to do with like gangster type or Yakuza type. I did enjoy the character in it, but that's pretty much really one of the only things I liked. I did think the plot was kind of hard to follow. It did intrigue me. You know, some of the scenes were really cool. There was some blood in some of the scenes. There was a lot of action. Not a lot, but there was some action, some cool fight scenes. But overall, Miike is always going to be my favorite director. This is definitely, I'm really surprised that he didn't direct this. He would have done a really fantastic job of this movie. This movie's directed very well, but this would have been a definite movie that I could see him directing. Appreciate you guys watching. You know, I'm sorry this movie or this review went over 10 minutes, but appreciate you guys watching. Like and subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you guys think of the movie if you've seen it, or if you want to see it, just let me know. You know, any kind of questions you got. Till next time, peace. Deuces.